Hey, it's Rachel, and I'm here today talking about motherhood, my thoughts on that, Mother's Day, and a whole lot of good stuff. So settle in for a few because I got things to say. So I asked my husband this morning, how many times when you're talking to other people about the struggles of parenting, do people say, oh, enjoy every minute of it? Stop and cherish every minute of it. Don't waste a second. You're going to look back and wonder where it all went. You know what he said? Well, first he was confused, so I had to ask him again. And he still didn't understand what I was saying. So I asked him a third time, to which I said, exactly. My belief, which, okay, study of one or two, is showing me is that nobody's telling the men this, or at least they're never telling my husband, and I can guarantee you they're not telling a lot of other men out there. But I hear on a really frequent basis, if I'm expressing frustration or challenges, people telling me to don't worry about building a business or doing what you love, or don't worry about you time or sleep. Just enjoy every minute. And it bothers me. And the reason it bothers me is essentially what I'm hearing is shut up, be a quiet woman, don't make waves. Don't complain about your situation in life because you're lucky that you have healthy children, et cetera, et cetera. And hey, I am so blessed and so happy to have my children. But you know what? Long before they were here, I was a woman who spoke my mind, and I'm not going to stop that. And so if you don't want to hear it, then sit down and stop talking to me. And I think a lot of women are tired of having people tell us to be quiet. You know what? We're here. We're birthing a new paradigm, and men are doing it too. It's not just the women. All over the world, we are interested in a new way of being, in a new society. And the things that worked in the past, they don't work anymore. They're not sustainable. Our social structures, our way of treating the earth, our way of treating mothers. How many of you out there can list five women who had incredibly amazing postpartum times? Not me, but I can easily list you 15 women without even thinking of it who had postpartum depression or postpartum anxiety. And if you look around, it's happening more and more and more. And we got a lot of issues in this society with how we take care of women, and I got a problem with that. I also have a problem with what's happening in Georgia. Did the devil go down to Georgia and stay there? Because I want us to accept all the mamas and love all the mamas, not just the mamas who decide to keep every single baby that's in their belly. Not just the mamas who do what you want them to do. Not just the mamas who stay quiet and sit down and don't make waves. Because you know what? These mamas are raising the children. We are out there busting our butts, and yet we are asked again and again to sacrifice ourselves. And some of being a motherhood is a sacrifice that we take on. You know, some of it, the biological sacrifices, they're just inherent to it. And the emotional sacrifices too. And if you are freely taking on more sacrifices, you rock it, mama. But you know what? I don't want to have any more burdens than I have to have. And I don't know why we can't have a culture and a world that values all kinds of mamas, all kinds of women, the ones who want to work more, the ones who don't want to work more, the ones who want to be in a relationship with another woman, the ones who don't even want to be feminine at all, the ones who want to let their kids do whatever they want, the ones who want to have screen time all the time. I want us to accept all of those mamas. And I think unless we start doing that, we're not going to be honoring these people. And so in a few days, Mother's Day is coming up, and I want you to not just think about your own mother, or if you are a mother, your personal life, but I want you to think about all the other mothers in this nation. You know, Black mamas who are sitting in jail because of laws about bail and other stupid stuff. And if you don't care about Black mamas out there and Hispanic mamas and the struggles that they're going through, then your white privilege has colored your whole life. And so I pray for you that you will take a moment and think, maybe it's not all about me. Maybe there are other mamas out there that I can feel connection to. Maybe I can realize that when I start caring about the other mamas out there, our world starts getting better. Maybe I can start seeing that if I wouldn't want my child to be victim of a school shooting or racially profiled, why am I okay with that happening to another child? If I wouldn't want my child separated from me as I was trying to move to better economic circumstances, why am I okay with that happening to another? Why am I only concerned with a woman's choice the first 9 months that she's a mom? But after that, I'm just like, fend for yourself, lady. Whew. Can you tell I'm passionate about this? And, sorry. Don't know where I'm going to pick up right now. But I am so thrilled to be living in the time that we're living in. That's where I'm going to go now. I forgot my transition there. We live in one of the most incredible times, or the most incredible time in the history, maybe of the universe. I don't know how far back the universe goes, but I'm excited, amazed, delighted, enthusiastic to be alive right now. The technology we have, the ways that we can connect to others, the information that we have, the power of transformation that we have at our fingertips is so profound. And what I am hoping is in our lifetime, I mean, definitely within our lifetime, we are making these great shifts that are going to be happening that benefit people and the earth. You know, in some places they're trying out, I forget the exact word for it, but I think it's like a automatic living income, because what is happening is there's so much technology that in some ways it's like there's some people who are like, well, what am I even supposed to do for a job? Like computers and all these systems made certain jobs redundant. Oh, thank you, Heather. And so like that's one of the things I'm excited about. There are so many things that are going to shift in our lifetime. And yeah, some of the time I'm resistant to change. I'm a human, like I can't deny that. But I also regularly connect to myself and say, okay, like, how am I going to react to this? Can I leave enough space in my life that I'm not so busy and so crazy that I can't care about another person, or so busy and so crazy that I can't take the time to think about how I'm going to respond to this situation, to think about how I'm going to think about this new thing? Because even though I'm very passionate about environmental change and social change, I know that all of that change has to happen within each person too, or it's not going to happen. You know, for quite a while, a majority of America thought the race issue wasn't even an issue, but it was. It just wasn't in the forefront. And even though it looks really ugly right now, it's out there so we can be doing something about it and acting on it. It's not undercover. And you know, each one of us, no matter how woke or whatever word you want to use, we all have things to overcome. You know, some of this xenophobia or white privilege and racism and sexism and these things, they're in us in ways that we don't even realize. We picked up on these things when we were young. And that's why doing things like personal growth, doing things like connecting with others who are different from you in various ways that they are different is so massively important, because it doesn't matter if we change all the laws out there if the people in their hearts don't change. And yes, okay, we want to change the radically crazy neo-Nazis out there, but we also want to change the little things that we might be doing that are considered microaggressions that we don't even realize. And we might want to be thinking about, when are the times when we hear about, you know, a Black person going to jail for something that a white person would probably get off for, which we know statistically it happens, and we think, well, they probably did it, or, oh, that's their problem, not my problem. And we just like justify it and rationalize it and move on. And no, I'm not saying you got to care about every single person and every single thing, but I want you to acknowledge, what role are you playing in all of this? And are you choosing to advance your own awareness, advance your way that you interact with others? Because being a human, a woke human, or whatever other word you want to use, it's not a one-time thing. You're not like, one and done, did it. I did my anti-racism training. Now I use inclusive language with trans people. I'm so good. Like, I'm done. It doesn't work that way. It'd be nice, maybe, if it did. But we got to keep on doing stuff. And, you know, the more that you practice changing, those around you start seeing it. You know, it's like with anything, the ripple effect. And so the people who are closest to you are picking up on that change. Your children that you're raising are seeing you setting that example. I want you to change other things in your life. Maybe, I know there's a lot of people out there who the problem they have with white privilege is they still feel a great sense of lack in their own lives. And so they've fallen into the trap of thinking there's not enough pie for everybody, and I got to make sure I get my piece of the pie. And oh, I'm sorry if you didn't get any, but I got mine and I'm good. There is enough pie for everyone. And that's not just a metaphor. Like, people who study world hunger and all of that, there is enough food in the world to feed the entire world. There's a problem of food distribution and access, and also food waste, but there's enough food out there. And so if you're in a mental state of lack, it's going to be really hard to want to help other people. And so if you're thinking, I'm not ready to do all those things you're asking me to do, Rachel, that's okay. Work on yourself first. You will get there. So, you know, change what you will and will not accept from others. Don't let people walk all over you. Don't let people, you know, hurt you. Speak up. It's okay to be a woman and to let your voice be heard. In fact, you should let your voice be heard. How can we have a society that serves all of the people when most of the voices are never heard? It's just like, if you do the math or do the demographic analysis, whatever, it doesn't add up. And that's why it's so exciting that things are changing in politics. But we got to make sure we're changing things in our hearts, in our homes, in our families, in our communities. I want you to listen to your own inner wisdom. And if you don't know how to do that, start learning today. Like, you can start in really small steps. I want you to remember that love, compassion, gentleness, those things can move mountains. And even though I consider myself a feminist, I never say smash the patriarchy, because to me that's like, I'm not saying smashing is a masculine thing, but it's just, I don't resonate with that. I don't think that's how this is going to happen. Like, maybe this first wave of it is like a smashing action, but I feel the quote unquote, like, more feminine versus masculine, yin versus yang, that feminine energy that's going to come forth is maybe not going to be an aggressive energy. And so I want you to acknowledge that love does not mean being a doormat. That's an illusion of love. No, the love out there that would create this universe with your beautiful face, the all your foibles and your flaws and all your amazing things about you, you have the potential to make the impact you want to make on the world. And, you know, today I'm speaking about what I'm passionate about, the rights of women, that women's voices should be heard, that we should have sovereignty over our bodies, because this is my body, you know, my body. But that might not be your issue. That's okay. Whatever you are driven and called and feel inside of you is the thing that you want to be working on. Please go work on it. And if you're already doing that work in the world, consider this your rallying cry, and I support you. And if you're not doing that work in the world, then what are you waiting for? This is a perfect time. This is an incredible time to be making an impact on the world. And an impact doesn't have to be grandiose. You don't see me right now on a picket line or whatever. I'm not running for office. That's not my way. I'm an educator. I'm a speaker. I'm a connector. I coach people. I'm doing my way. And I did that by listening to my inner wisdom, connecting to what I'm divinely inspired to give to the world. And I think you have that too. I know that you have that too. And that's why I'm speaking to you and encouraging you, because we all need that. And so this Mother's Day, I'm not asking for flowers. I grow my own. I mean, I still buy some too. I'm not asking for flowers. Let me keep that in your view. I'm not asking for a massage. I'm not asking for any of that stuff. What I want is for you to connect with yourself, for you to honor, if you're a woman, the mother in you, whether or not you have children, there's still some aspect of that that's connected to you. If you're not a woman or you don't associate with that, think about the mothers that you know in the world and encourage them, you know, make an impact on the world. Speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. Was that Margaret Mead who said that? Anyway, one of my favorite quotes. And lastly, I have another little quote, and then I'm going to wrap it up. So this is also one of my philosophies about motherhood. So if you ever wonder, Khalil Gibran, the prophet, this book has been in my family for a while. And so they asked the prophet to speak to us about children. And he said, your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls. For their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. This is making me emotional. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. And you know, I think there are people out there right now, they're trying to make us go backwards, but that's not going to last for long. We might go backwards, or maybe we've been going backwards for a few years, but we are moving forwards. Rob Bell speaks of it as a rubber band in one of his podcasts from a couple years ago. You know, in a rubber band, as we're moving forward, like as you stretch a rubber band, there's a little spring back, but then we're still moving forward. And so if things in the world are making you feel despair, not a sense of hope or frustration, that's good. Like, use that to fuel you and acknowledge, like, this is the pullback, but we're gonna come back. We're gonna move forward. We're gonna get there. So I just want to sign off saying so much love to all of you, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Kiss and hug all the mothers out there. Later today, or maybe in the comments here, I'm going to link, there's an action going on about Black mothers in jail and bail bonds. So if you can share that, that would be great. Or I can't remember if the action wants you to make a call or share or comment. But yeah, let's accept all the mamas out there and love all the mamas out there. And if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. So much praise. All right. I love you. Bye.